They were willing to sleep in a tent in the jungle to build an action sports resort. And that's what they did.
So yeah, it all started in 2008. My brother Travis and I were living at our parents' house at the time. And one day we bought some beers and we had a meeting in the hot tub about what we wanted to do with the rest of our lives. So that night we did a quick Google research. We looked up cheap land for sale around the world and Nicaragua came up. We booked 2 tickets to Nicaragua that night and 2 weeks later we flew down. Here we are in Nicaragua. We spent the first 2 weeks partying, meeting people. We had one goal on this trip, which was to either look for land or buy some land.
We met a guy just walking down the street and said he had some property for sale and it had a well in the jungle in the back.
We said, hey, look, man, we only have $1,000. We went to the ATM, we took out $1,000, we gave it to him. We signed a little contract, then we flew back to Canada.
For the next year, we got jobs at a gas station.
We came up with a business plan. We wanted to build the first action sports resort in the world, but we didn't have any money and we didn't know where to start. So during the 1 year in Canada that we were working, we also posted online looking for investors.
I first met Lucas and Travis through a mutual friend that had kind of set us up to talk about some business ventures. When we got together, I wasn't too sure what to expect. These young guys came through the door. They're like 20, 22. They were probably doubling on a bicycle and they had some drawings in their back pocket and they were asking me to invest in them. So we went from there and we talked about it and we had some similar ideas and we thought, yeah, we could probably make this work. Once I looked at them and I knew that they had the drive in them, that they could do it, that's something that you're basically born with.
So after the 1 year was up, and we found an investor, we went down to Nicaragua and we started building.
Once we got there and we started discussing what was going to happen and what was going to transpire and started collaborating these ideas, they just started to flow and we had the exact same idea of what we wanted to do and same goals, to build one of the first action sports resorts in Central America, actually in the world.
So here we are in Nicaragua. We bought some $5 bicycles, some machetes, and every day we would bike from San Juan del Sur out to the property, which is about 3 kilometers away. And we would just start clearing the land with machetes every day until we realized it's only like $5 to hire somebody to do it. So we started doing that while we worked on the paintball field in the back. But we found a crew of workers, so we started building our first little house. It had a zinc roof, big gaps between the walls and the roof.
There was bugs everywhere, had one fan.
Yeah, it sucked, but we were starting from the ground up, building our dream. One day we bought a baby pit bull. We named him Buddy. We built a mini ramp, so we'd skate the mini ramp every single day. The mini ramp is only fun for so long, so we started building the skateboard park.
What's up, bud?
So we're doing it at the surf ranch.
So the first time I went to the surf ranch was February 2011. I was on one of Chico Brenes's Nicaragua trips. He likes to take a bunch of pros back to his home state, kind of show them what the country's like, show them where he grew up, and that you can skate there and what a cool country it is. And I'd been in touch with Travis and Lucas through a friend of mine in Orange County, and I don't think Chico knew him, but we were going down to San Juan del Sur anyways. And I'd been in touch with them, and I was like, let's check out these guys are opening this surf ranch skate resort. It's gonna have a skate park.
I met, Luke and Travis, and was like, yeah, we have, we're gonna build a skate park over here, and we're gonna, make it skatable and everything. And the first thing I remember that they had was like this manual pad right here that's behind me. And that's what we skated. And, they let us borrow a few surfboards and everything, and we hit the beach. And when we came back, we were skating the manual pad. And that was like the first thing that was built pretty much here,
We pulled up. There's actually, before we could even get there, we had to cross kind of like this little river that a lot of us got out of the van. Van made it across, but it was funny to shoot photos of that. It's me, Chico, Kenny Anderson, Louis Tolentino, Danny Montoya, Rob G, Mark Stewart was filming, John Coulthard was another photographer.
And I remember like us driving through the jungle, there was nothing there. We came across the river and, we had to drive through the river to get to the other side. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And then that's when we approached Lucas and Travis's spot. At first sight, it wasn't much, it was like a small little house and small mani pad and run up.
So we pulled up and it was literally, they had a slab of concrete poured and a manual pad and that was it. But you could skate it and it was metal edge too. So we got clips of Kenny and Chico skating it. Lucas and Travis had their house they lived in, and there was maybe one bungalow that they had started to build, but it wasn't finished yet. And other than that, it was just a field with kind of like jungle trees beyond it. And they had it all mapped out. They're like, these are gonna be bungalows here. There's gonna be paintball back there. Swimming pool, rock climbing wall. And it sounded like a rad idea, but they had a ton of work ahead of them. I was like, wow, these guys are taking a major undertaking. But, a great place to do it, like right near the beach and near San Juan del Sur in Nica.
Traveling down the river. Kid, river crossing time. With 4 pallets, 2x4s. This is what we do every day. 10 times a day. Okay, hold on. Take a little left turn. This is how we get out this way. This is how we get to our house. Here we go. At this point, we were running out of money, so we needed to figure out how to make more money. One day I bought this internet stick. I was in the little house sitting on a bucket and I had my laptop on this wooden desk and I started playing online poker. My brother came in, he had 2 girls with him. They wanted me to go party with them and I was like, no, I'm gonna play online poker.
This tournament lasted for about 16 hours and I ended up going to the beach during that day in the morning, and I came back at around 6 o'clock and he was still on his computer. And he said he was up.
And I ended up winning like $4,000.
That was the money we used to buy the paintball guns.
We had them shipped down to the property, and we opened up the paintball course.
We first met Luke and Travis in Grenada when we were at a hostel called the Bearded Monkey. We ended up having a few drinks with them that night, and we were out on one of the main streets, and one of the guys we were with saw somebody steal a camera right off the table across from us from another tourist, and the guys actually ended up running and chasing down this guy, caught him, and got this girl's camera back. So that was kind of our funny story for how we met them. We ended up going to San Juan a few days later, and who was there? Again, we ran into Luke and Travis, and at that time we're staying in a hostel in San Juan. A few days later, all of a sudden we had bought a mattress, and we were living in Luke and Travis's unfinished house on the floor in their kitchen because it was a 1-bedroom house, and Luke and Travis were living or sleeping in the 1-bedroom, and then we were actually sleeping in the kitchen of their unfinished house. We, I guess, thought that was a great idea at the time. All 4 of us were outside having a barbecue, kind of in and out of the house, and all of a sudden all 4 of us went into the house for one reason or the other, and I remember turning around and these 3 guys in balaclavas all walked in to the house, and 2 of them had knives and one of them had a gun. And right away, Luke was in the kitchen and he says, "We're getting robbed." Being the only girl, there was a few other thoughts going through my mind at the time. And I remember I didn't want to go towards the bedroom because that just kind of meant danger for me. So I was almost relieved actually when they kept me with the boys and we all went down, face down in the kitchen, hands behind our head, and they're pointing the gun at us, and someone just keeps saying, "De Niro, De Niro, De Niro." They just didn't believe us. So then they just started digging through all of our stuff while the one guy kind of sat over top of us with the gun pointed to all of our heads while we were face down in the kitchen. And so they took our camera. I remember they came over to me and I had a couple silver rings on my fingers, and they took the rings right off my fingers. They took everything down to the electric shaver that the boys had in the bathroom. And then one by one, they put us all into the shower of this bathroom. And then, so we're all 4 of us huddled up in the shower, and they, with the gun still pointed at our heads, and they throw a blanket over our heads, and we're all kind of sitting there under this blanket. Nobody's saying anything, and then they leave. And we're like, okay, when can we get up? So I don't remember how long we ended up sitting there for, because they didn't have a car. Like, we believe that they came on foot, so we couldn't really hear if they were still there. So we probably sat maybe 10 minutes until we figured out that they were gone. And so we're all kind of a little worked up by this point, and Luke and Travis, for some reason, jump in the car and they go, we need to find them. So they jump in the truck and they're driving up and down the road trying to find these three people, and they never did find them. So we went to the police the next day and nothing ever really came of it. And I think that was the end of our stay in Nicaragua. I think we packed up our stuff and left. It was the next day or the day after that, and continued on down south, down to Costa Rica.
The next day, we rented a hotel in the capital city, and then a day after, we flew back to Canada because we were too scared. So we went back to Canada and back to our parents' house. We had to get jobs again.
So this park got flooded. All the trees fell down. Check it out. Do not enter. $500 fine. Do not pass. If we get busted, pay $500. We're passing.
After 3 months of working at the car auction, cleaning cars, we were like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. And we can't let these kids that robbed us ruin our dream. So we said, you know what, let's go back to Nicaragua and finish what we started. So here we are back in Nicaragua, and this time we came full force. Every day we work on the property, and we started building the rest of the units, the standard rooms, the villas. We finished up the skateboard park.
One of the workers grabbed our skateboards and they drew penises on his face and skated around the skate park.
A ver si puedo. Vamos a ver, vamos a ver. He caído.
First try, ready? This is the first try ever. Okay, ready for the shit? Yeah! Why does the backpack here stay here? Why would you stay here? This is amazing. Cause you got Marvin doing 360s. Nice. There's the surf ranch. Yeah.
We also bought this big giant airbag from China.
Once we got the airbag, we wanted to jump off of it, and there was no tower, so we put a ladder up to it, and I climbed up on the top and jumped off the ladder. And the ladder kicked out and hit the truck, but I managed to jump onto the airbag, so it works.
We turned our old water tower into a tower that you can jump off of into the airbag.
My dad was the first one to jump off of it, and he did a belly flop first try. And after my dad did it, everyone else wanted to do it.
So one day we had this big event. We just invited everybody from all the hostels in town, and it was crazy.
So after we had the airbag competition, we started focusing on finishing the skate park.
The rest of the units. We finished the villas, the standard rooms, the deluxe condos. We finished the pool, the restaurant.
Need some wax.
Wax down the ledge as well. Just a little bit.
All these people that we knew in town, we had them come out, and we had a pool party one day. We hired everybody that we knew, and we opened up.
looking for some hot destinations. We've invited lifestyle blogger Sasha Dvoritz to the program. Okay, now this was an article that you were just mentioning to me in the commercial break that you wrote about Nicaragua, and it really picked up.
Yeah, it just went huge. And I think one of the reasons for that is that there's this misrepresentation around Nicaragua that it's a dangerous place, but actually that is in the past for them now. There's a really great resort owned by 2 Canadians from Kelowna, and it's the Surf Ranch Hotel and Resort, and it has everything from skateboard parks to yoga to hanging out by the pool and accommodations. You know, one of the reasons that my article went so viral is because so many people have visited there and they wanted other people to know how special that place was, right?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Lost the drone into the jungle. We gotta go find it.
I gotta download the map. But when I got here, it's like, I think it's over there in the bushes up top.
Oh, on the other side of the road?
Yeah.
Alright. Go find it. Good. Time is against us. We gotta find it before someone else finds it.
That's the last known location.
In this field?
Yeah, they're 150 feet in there. We have to get in there somehow.
With all the chickens? So we asked the neighbors where it was. They said they saw it. And then after they said, no, we don't know where it is. So we're gonna jump the fence. So we got close enough to see where we are, and it looks like it crashed right inside some bushes. And these guys over here are looking for it.
Let's go find it.
Gracias, this is para ustedes.
When I looked at them, I saw 2 kids that, you know, they had it together and they had goals and dreams, and they were willing to do whatever it took to put it together. And that's something that not everybody has in them. How many people are willing to go live in a tent in the jungle and focus on a dream for 5 years that most people are going to tell them that isn't going to happen?
I first heard of Surf Ranch through a buddy I worked with at an outdoor store back home in Tennessee. He told me he was like an investor in something down there and that we should go. And I was like, you know what? I got some free time, no worries. So we went down there for, I don't know, probably close to 2 weeks or something like that. And yeah, it was amazing. I'd never been there before, and just being able to go down there and surf in a new spot and just see a different country, and it was special to me. It's something that I think about all the time. When I first met Luke and Travis, it was awesome. I think I met them that day that I got there, and we all got to hang, and then I think immediately we started planning a little surf mission to Popoyo.
I found the website through someone's recommendation, found the package that was available through the Surf Ranch.
My wife and I were both overseas at the time, and we were looking for a cool little vacation, a cool little adventure thing to do instead of just sitting at regular hotel and drinking pina coladas kind of place.
By the time it was all said and done, we had talked to Lucas and Travis enough times about the Surf Ranch and their plans that we just ended up investing in the initial location in San Juan del Sur, buying 2 of the units.
It didn't really feel like we accomplished anything until we had our first big party with a group called Free and Easy from Canada. There's about 300, 400 people. And that day I was like, okay, like we did it. We did it. So after we opened, the name got pretty big, and we continued our business relationship with Chico Brenes, who brought professional skateboarders down originally. So at this point, we were flying down pros 3 times a year, and we teamed up with Chico to start the first skateboard camp in Central America.
The first time I heard about the Surf Ranch was from a fellow skateboarder of mine named Chico Brenes. He had been talking about the Surf Ranch for a long time, so we went there, and I really had no expectations. All I knew is that it was, you know, kind of like a beach town, and I was super excited. And then when we got there, it was just like, it blew my mind. Like what they did with the property and how everything was set up with the skate park, and they had a rock climbing wall and a pool and a swim up bar, and it was unbelievable. It was amazing.
So the first time I heard about the Surf Ranch was through Chico. So when Jose Rojo told me that he was going to Nicaragua with Chico, because Chico would always go down I think he probably still does. He goes down every year, I guess, to do these things. He just had one. He brings a couple dudes down usually, and they go skating and go to the Surf Ranch. I told him I'm in. I wanted to go because I'd never been to Nicaragua before, and you know, I'm always down for a new place. So when I hit Cheeks up, he was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So I was in.
My name is Chico Brenes. I was born here in Nicaragua. I left to the United States in 1985. It was like during the whole revolution and during the war that was happening. You know, I remember I was living in the capital of Managua with my aunts and everybody, and I was going to school over there when everything was going on. And they were recruiting like small kids to go fight, you know, and I was 10 years old at the time, but I was a little bit taller. So my mom got scared that they were going to just recruit me and take me. So she was like, you know, let's go to the States.
So over the years, we stayed in touch via email, and they would send me updates on how the ranch was coming along. And then when it finally opened, and you know, I plugged it for him on Transworld because I thought it looked rad, and like, who wouldn't want to go to Nicaragua on vacation to skate and surf? But in the photos they would email me, I couldn't believe it was the same place. It looked amazing. And they said, you know, we're going to be doing these skate camps with Chico in his Shop Central.
The first skate camp that we did at the Surf Ranch was in 2013, you know, and they already had the park and everything like set up and everything. So we did a demo for the kids. We had a contest for the kids, you know. For the first one that we did, it was good. Like a lot of people showed up. surprised of all the people that came out of like everywhere, even from, you know, neighboring countries like Costa Rica, El Salvador. People just came out of the woodworks, man. It was crazy. And I was like, whoa, man, you know, maybe this could work. We started bringing, you know, pros and all kinds of people and doing demos for the kids and everything. We brought over 30 professionals here to Nicaragua.
Gift from the gods. Gift from the gods. Cheers.
Skated with the different skate campers that were there. Skated the park pretty much every night in the evening when it cooled off.
Honestly, the trip that we took to Nicaragua, it being my first time, like, it was the best. It was probably one of my favorite trips I've ever been on, and I've been a pro skateboarder for going on 20 years.
Yeah, the surf ranch was rad. Nice dudes. I'd definitely go back.
I can't speak highly enough of Lucas and Travis because what they did with the property and just how the hospitality and everybody that worked there was just so kind and so just... It was just amazing. I mean, I would recommend this place to anybody.
And sure enough, man, it looked as good as it did in the emails and photos. It was insane. It's just they have the pool and the bar and the rock wall, super nice apartments with air conditioning. The skate park is super fun, like bungalows with rooftops you can hang out on. Everyone that worked there was cool. Good food. They'll take you into town. They'll take you to the different beaches to surf. It's insane. It's really impressive.
After the skate camp, a big group of whitewater rafters booked out the whole resort, and we ended up partying with them. One of the people in this group was Melinda Clark, an actress from Hollywood.
And our friend from Canada, Tom, he was down here at the time.
To be all mine, foxy lady.
Luke, will you take it? Will you take the? Will you take it?
Yeah. Hey, give me the camera.
Yeah, we just got along really well, and Melinda actually invited us to her wedding in California. So our friend Tom, my brother, and I, we said, yeah, let's go to California. We've never been before, so let's go check it out. We rented a red Camaro and drove down to Dana Point.
Take that train all the way back.
The journey to be here with them, especially on this most gorgeous day. Her parents live 1 mile up the beach in a beautiful home. My better self, my good angel, I am bound to you.
couple of brothers that be on the mic. And when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic. Right. The dog, the dog, got it ready to tail. Calling it just well, what do you say? You be dancing, you be spinning, you be hopping around, big chicks. Back there, say, what do you say? Pass out and you know, surf ranch in the house. Come on. So I hook select. 2-1 in the west, some brothers shaking dice. So I said, let's do this. Lottie-dottie, we like to party. We don't cause trouble, we don't bother nobody. We're just a couple of wobbles and we on the mic. We rock the mic.
After going to California and seeing all these huge resorts and nice houses, we kind of got the inspiration to go back and build the biggest resort in Nicaragua.
We talked to our investors at the first resort to see if anybody was interested in helping us buy the land.
So after we decided to invest in the first place, we saw that they were trying to branch out and kind of create a real brand for themselves. And that, once again, just the whole kindred spirit, we were just like, man, that's really cool. So now they're not just focusing on this one resort, they're trying to have multiple locations and really make it a maybe not global, but at least a regional brand. And we're just like, well, that's really cool, you know, investing in that whole area, gathering more land, more resorts, all that kind of stuff. We went ahead and we did all of that in hopes that obviously one day it'll be a giant brand and we'll be super successful. I will say one thing about that. It's funny because, you know, you always have these people who in your life who they don't have the vision. So with that lack of vision, they're just like, I can't believe you do that. It's so crazy. And maybe it is a little bit crazy, but then, you know, who's ever gotten anything done by playing it safe? You know, being risk takers is really what has separated those who are successful from those who just kind of follow the curve and just kind of go with the flow. So we kind of think the idea of being movers and shakers is kind of cool, and that's why we have done what we've done.
We decided to invest in the land because, I mean, first of all, who doesn't want to invest in a beautiful country on a giant 25-acre piece of property overlooking the Pacific Ocean? I mean, just on paper alone, it's like a dream come true. And the fact that it was even more untouched than San Juan del Sur location, there was just so much potential. There is so much potential in that area. And driving around and seeing what it is now or what it was a few years ago and being able to picture what it can become in the future is extremely exciting.
So this is the land, just put the down deposit on it. It's got a 180-degree view of the ocean, and it's sick. I'm standing up on the top area, there's the truck down there. This is where all the condos are gonna go, all around here.
We bought 25 acres out in Popoyo. We made a design online and we started building this house. Pretty much after that, we sold the second house and we started building that as well.
We're building the first two houses in Popoyo. We're almost halfway. Check it out. I can't wait till this is done, man. It's gonna be sick.
Third house, and then we sold the fourth house.
The year is 2015, and we're building our second resort, Surf Ranch in Popoyo. Check it out.
Buenos días. ¿Dónde estás? ¿En el proyecto? Ok, mira, todas las cosas en la lista, voy a Managua mañana. Quiero comprar todo que tienen una lista y voy a tener todo listo en martes para ti. Mira, voy a estar en el proyecto en 2 horas. Estoy saliendo de aquí. Entonces, hablamos allá. Ok, perfecto. Adiós.
We're heading up to Popoyo, check on the guys. They're building the gypsum on the ceiling and also putting on the roof on house 1. We have a couple of guys building the third lot. There's about 5 machines out there, so we're gonna go check up on those guys and see how everything's going. So how do you fly that thing? Controller. Holy sh**. Oh, still good. Still good. Oh, this is gonna be good footage. We're standing on house 1. Over here is house 2. And right now we're building house 3. Well, this is the master sala. Let's see if these all work. Open it up. Good to go. Come on there, guys. I'll show you around. Come on to the master bedroom here. There you have your master bed. Let's check out this. Come on out. Let's check out the pool. Bam! 3 houses down. Yo compré más soldadura y todo, pero necesita 45 tablas.
48.
48
Sí.
para todo.
Para hacer una sola llena lo que es porque aquí lleva la tabla grande y lleva una pequeña.
Ah, ok.
Ya esta grada está lista, vamos a ver si ya mañana la fundimos.
Bueno, ¿vas a llenarlo con concreto?
Sí.
¿Poner fino?
Y repellando la parte de adentro.
Ok. Driving from San Juan del Sur out to Popoyo. I got some materials in the back, some brooms, nails, wire. So I gotta drop it off because the guys ran out of materials. Gotta make sure everyone has everything they need. We had all 4 houses sold and we were finishing them up. We were building them and we were almost done. But when everything seems to be going good, bad things happen. One day we were driving out to Popoyo and there's a huge fire on the hill making its way down towards the houses. So that was kind of like the first sign
of bad things to come. A few days after that, we went to Managua, and Travis and I were getting lunch at Hard Rock Cafe. We were sitting outside on the patio, and then all of a sudden the roof caved in.
Just collapsed over me and Luke.
Within a second, we jumped. It was just reflexes. We made it, but it still hit us. It cut us up a bit. So at that point, we were like, okay, bad things are coming. And shortly after that, what happened with Travis's truck.
So I bought a brand new truck. It was a Ford Ranger 2017. One day I was driving to Managua and the gas throttle was just stuck. And I looked behind me in my rearview mirror and there was smoke everywhere.
This guy just happens to pull over. Suddenly, the whole truck is engulfed in smoke.
So he's not hot dogging. This is like the gas has gotten stuck down or something?
That's correct, according to the poster. He said that he was driving along when suddenly he says the accelerator stuck. That's when he pulled over, was able to put it in park, set the emergency brake, and get out. But you could hear the thing revving like crazy. And the smoke that you're seeing isn't coming from the tires. It's coming from something that's called diesel engine runaway. Things like this typically don't happen anymore, but basically what's gone wrong is some sort of engine fuel mixture and is revving the engine out of control. According to some things I read on the internet, just turning the car off doesn't stop the engine. Basically what you have to do is smother the engine. CO2 fire extinguishers can take away the oxygen from the engine, and that can sometimes get the engine to cut out, or what I believe to happen in this case is it just burns itself out. Eventually that revving stops and the smoke clears.
Do you replace the whole engine or do you need a whole new car?
I think if it's a brand new car, you take that right back to the dealership and say, we've got an issue.
I didn't know if the truck was going to blow up or not. My girlfriend and I were in the truck, and so I pulled over to the side. I tried to turn the ignition off, but it just kept smoking, and the smoke started entering the vehicle. So we both got out and she ran forward, I ran backwards, and I ended up filming the whole thing.
The Civil War in 2018 broke out. We already had tickets booked to go to Japan. In order to get to Japan, we had to drive to the Managua airport.
They would build these roadblocks. There was guys on the street writing all over our windows.
Tires were burning everywhere. All the roads were blocked, so we had to go through the jungles all the way to Managua. It was crazy. I got to Managua first. I was in my hotel, and just outside the hotel, there's this big flower statues that the government built, and everybody was tearing them down. There's probably 200, 300 people, and they were sawing this big statue down. So I was in my hotel room, I was filming the whole thing. By the time I got downstairs, people were jumping on it. So we went across the road to this little pub. It was pretty full, people were drinking. So we started drinking, and I see on the TV behind my brother, I see the statue falling repeatedly over and over. And then I look closely and there's a guy running. The statue fell on him and killed him. The next day, we flew out to Japan.
Walking the back streets in Japan. What do we find here?
It was pretty fun in Japan. We got to explore a new culture and get some ideas for our future hotels. So our 2-week trip was up and we had to fly back to Nicaragua. But at this point, the whole country was crazy. So we couldn't fly back to Nicaragua. We had to divert our flight to Costa Rica. We flew to Costa Rica with just our backpacks on. Same feeling as when we went to Nicaragua for the first time.
We didn't know that we were going to be stuck in Costa Rica for the next 6 months. So during that time, we had an idea to build an automated hotel.
So we spent the first few months in Tamarindo, Costa Rica, trying to find a lease on a hotel that maybe we could renovate and open up. We found a good deal on this hotel.
It was a 7-unit apartment building with a restaurant that was attached to it.
So we bought it and we started renovating. So with both the restaurant and the hotel combined, Surf Ranch has become very popular. We were full every single day. Travis's friend that he met back in Canada, he invited him down to do a promotional commercial for the hotel. He came down and yeah, he filmed the hotel and a bunch of activities that we offer.
We even hung out with Lucas's and Travis's dad, Terry, and just their family is just such a they just have such a warm vibe and such a welcoming vibe. And we stayed, I don't remember, one night we stayed up with them until, I don't remember, late, but it was just so cool to see that family vibe, and it translates into the way that they run their hotel. It's just such a welcoming place.
And then Nicaragua got better and people started traveling back to Nicaragua. So now that we had the first resort in San Juan del Sur, which we opened up again, we had the Surf Ranch in Tamarindo, Costa Rica. Now it's time to go back to Nicaragua and finish Surf Ranch Popoyo. Well, since it was rainy season too, a lot of houses were being flooded, a lot of people didn't have work, less tourism now. So before we opened up, we decided to give back to the community, go hand deliver food to all the houses in the area, and just help people out. Felt comfortable, we opened up the resorts again and we started building in Popoyo. It's time to start on the apartment complex and one of the largest buildings on the coast of Nicaragua.
Welcome to the Surf Ranch.
I'm at the Popoyo site and we're about to begin construction on the apartments. So as you can see behind me, there's nothing here. Whole resort, it's nothing. So the apartments are gonna go right here. And then over here, the pool. Yeah, it's gonna be cool, man, looking back at this when everything's done.
Started the same process as we did with the houses. Got the machineries there, leveled out the whole area, built the foundation.
Standing on top of the world, man. This is gonna be the condos. Right now it's just all dirt. I'm cowboy. I'm out here in Popoyo. We just finished the lots for the apartment. It's gonna be like 180 feet long by 60 feet wide. Yeah, it looks like they did a good job. That's gonna be 18 units. Yeah, it's looking good because right behind me you can see the lot. It's pretty big. So we have a lot of work ahead of us. So once you enter the reception, you come up the stairs and then you enter the apartments, which are gonna be right behind me. So everything at the resort's gonna have ocean view. And yeah, it's like, feels like you're on top of the world. Just fly it across here or go high and fly it this way? Just flew the drone, crashed it, so $2,000 down the drain. Gotta find it now. GoPro smashed. Well, this doesn't move. It's on its last life. We have 4 houses done. We're just about to start on put the walls up on the apartments. So as you can see right now, you see all the blocks we have. They're making progress. Yeah, here, check it out.
We started building the apartment complex. Same idea as kind of what we did in San Juan del Sur. We would sell the units online to people on Facebook, eBay, Craigslist. One by one, we sold them and we used that money to build the apartment complex.
can lift me up.
It's kind of crazy to see that this used to be all dirt when we first came and scouted out the property. And now we have it up. 3-story building. All right, so we're done one of the units, one of the apartment units, and today we're just gonna start furnishing it up. Let's check it out.
Looking back onto it, how this all started, where it was just an idea in a hot tub of getting out of our comfort zone.
We're almost done. Just putting the room on right here.
It's definitely a place I would go back to like every year. You know, depending on the season, you could go when it's surf season, skate and surf. You could go when it's winter here, so you're just chilling in the warmth.
I mean, I recommend it to anybody that I, know or ask about Nicaragua because, I mean, I can't wait to go back there. I'll go back there in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it's just some really amazing memories, and it's just amazing to see what Luke and Travis have done, and it just feels like an amazing surf trip every time you go there. So yeah, I can't wait to get back down.
Mama? Mama?